Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day. My name is Beckett and welcome to the channel. Today in Division 2, I'm going to be showing you guys how to complete Summit Floor 100 100% of the time. Never fail, never worry, never even have a doubt in your mind, not even have to worry. A little bit of a cheese, but it's fast, it's easy, and you go home, you collect your loot, and get your exotic chest piece. I honestly never felt like I was gonna die, and I got a little bored during this fight during floor 100. So before we get into this video, if you like the content, hit that subscribe. If you end up liking this video, hit that like. It really helps me out. We're really growing as a channel. This is growing into a nice little Division 2 channel, and I really hope you come along for the ride. Alright, let's get into this. Now, I don't know if this will get fixed, and I really hope it does, but if it doesn't, it's kind of sad because it ruins all the fun of the summit, because leading up like 91 to like 99, I would say like after 95, it gets pretty rough and it can get pretty dicey, and there were a few times where I was just solo and I just kept tossing seekers and just trying to survive inside. And just to go to floor 100, and I didn't even know what to expect at first because I didn't watch any videos, anything. All I did was see a few things in chat saying something about riot foam, so I kind of knew what to expect to floor 100, and I heard something about hunters, so I kind of knew what was going to be up there when I went up there. So spoilers, if this isn't spoilers, obviously you don't care about spoilers. If you're clicked on this video, you just want to know how to beat this quickly and efficiently and not have to worry. So if you guys haven't noticed already, having different builds and gear sets in the summit is only a benefit to yourself, depending on what round it is. Like if I'm running Seekers and it's a bunch of drones, I'm not going to hit anything. I'm not really going to do any damage. So being able to change things up on the fly can be very helpful. Or when Cool Skills is up, switching to a red build or just using auto turrets, depending on whatever situation. But if you haven't noticed, skill builds are extremely strong until about floor 100, and then we're just going to want to pull out a red build, and I'm going to go into that in detail right now. Alright, so let's get into this build. First thing first, we are going to be running Firewall Specialization. So if you don't have it leveled out that much or leveled out at all, it won't be that hard to get to that point. We honestly only need to be running 25 points into it, but if we can get to 35, that's great. If you got it all filled out, awesome, you don't have to worry. So what we're really going to want to be looking for is Firewall Tactical Link. Allies deal 10% more damage to enemies that are within 10 meters of you. If you're in solo, it probably doesn't matter that much, but 10% extra damage from all your teammates going out is amazing. The next thing we're going to be running, because we're going to be running SMG as our primary, we're just going to want the Spray and Pray. 15% extra SMG damage. And that's awesome. That's really the only thing we need to be running in a build. If you wanted to add anything else, I would add Fiery Response. Just when your armor breaks, if they rush in, a burn goes out, it's going to kind of disorient them and slow them down for a quick second, and won't be a problem. As you can see, I'm running this cover to cover down here. It doesn't really matter. If you got anything else filled out, that's great, but that's the only thing we really need for this build. So let's get into the gear. Now, you don't have to follow my build exactly, but I would suggest going like a full red build or at least 2 blues. I'm running 2 blues just for a little tankiness because you know those hunters hit pretty hard, and I would also suggest running Adrenaline Rush paired with Intimidate just because we get an extra 35% damage while we have bonus armor, and when they come in, we're going to want all that bonus armor we can get, and skills are kind of useless. So I'm going to be running the Backfire. This is the new SMG, the exotic. If you don't know what it does, it has a talent called Pay Mankind. Every time you do damage, you get a 1% critical hit damage buff, stacking up to 200 times. So you just have to hit them. You don't have to critical hit them. You don't have to headshot them, nothing. You just get that stack. But it has a downside. Every time you reload, you get a debuff that gives you a bleed for 10 seconds that does 0.5% of your armor per stack. But we're not going to be hitting close to 200 stacks, so we really don't have to worry about that. And anything that gets close to that, we're going to have our bonus armor that's going to get eaten up by that. So that's not going to be an issue. And we're going to be running other things like Revive Hive and stuff like that. I just went with my F2000. It's just my go-to gun, you know, for my assault rifle and my secondary, just in case I ran out of ammo or whatever it may be. I'm running Hunter's Fury just because it's what I had on me and it worked at a time. It just has that extra SMG damage. Even though we're not going to have the 25% damage debuff up, we will have the 20% weapon damage when they're 15 meters within us. I ran 2 Bellstone just for the 1% armor regen, so it regained that armor. And the armor on kill, it's okay. I just didn't have anything to replace it, and I just wanted to run 2 blues at the time. And as you can see, I'm running critical hit damage and crit hit chance. The idea is just to hit that 60%. I think I'm running 58%, and we'll get into the stat sheet in a second, and we can go through that. And then just the holster critical hit damage. Like I said, we just want to hit crit hit, crit damage, hit crit chance to 60%, and then whatever's left we can put into crit hit damage. But we're not really worried about crit hit damage too much because we have that SMG. Now, skill wise, we're going to be running the Revive Hive. Everyone in your group probably should be running the Revive Hive, just because you get knocked, you don't have to worry about your teammate saving you. It's not a wipe. It's just easy. It's got a long cooldown, but hopefully you don't have to use it. I think I had to use it once, and that was it. I think we all had to use ours once, and it was never really an issue. We were just peeking way too hard when we shouldn't have with the sniper rifle, and just doing dumb mistakes. As long as you're not doing stuff you shouldn't be and just being way too aggressive with these hunters, it's not going to be an issue. And then we are going to be running Shock Trap, because the way it's going to be happening, we're just going to be trapping them. Anytime they come in, they're going to get stuck in status effects, and we're just going to be able to nuke them down really quickly. And I just want to let you guys know, I did not run this with friends. I plugged this all the way through, so there was no communication over Discord. We were just chatting. All right, now let's get into the nerdy stuff. All right, right off the bat, weapon damage, not that high, 112, but it doesn't really matter because we're just looking for that critical hit chance, 58%. My Shade Watch, it's only 387, as you can see. So if it was higher, I'd be able to hit that crit cap. Not a problem. I'd probably have higher critical hit damage. So if you have a max Shade Watch, it's going to be a lot easier, and you're going to put out a lot more damage. Headshot damage just got mixed in there. I'm not trying to stack it at all, to be honest. 0 armor, 0 health, all that stuff. And then we can get, so as you can see, I'm running 68% all weapon damage with the 44% submachine gun. That's where we're getting like a lot of our damage, and from that critical hit damage. And then we can go into, so our armor, 1000 armor, that's just to make us feel a little better, you know, just a little buff. And then we got 3000 armor kill. It's really not going to come into handy, but then we got this like 10,000 armor regeneration. That's really helpful, and it comes into handy, especially if we get hit, because those guys hit with like every skill. The oxidizer, be careful. It's like a one shot. If you do not get in, like you survive 1 tick, and if you do not get out in 1 tick, you're dead. Now that you guys got to see the build and what kind of stats I'm working with, let's hop in game and I'll show you guys how to one-shot this every time. Now that we're in game, before we even get to the hunters, we have to clear floor 100. Best thing I would do is not even open the doors for floor 100. You can throw your skills through, you can shoot through it, whatever builds you guys are running, or if you're doing solo and you just want to throw skills through it, you can do it. Your turret will go in there, everything. Just do that, because we do not want to die on floor 100 and have to go back 2 or 3 floors just to make it back up to the hunters again. Once every wave is clear, we can go ahead and just open the door, and we're going to run through. And usually you want most of your team to through, and you're just one guy to go in there to spawn the hunters. You're just going to walk straight through, and you'll see all the smoke like they do, and then just run back as fast as you can. All right, once the hunters are spawned and you run back in, you can just retreat in and grab cover on any area, just not the glass. As you can see where we're set up. What we're going to do next is going to require a little bit of communication through teammates, but we're going to want to throw shock traps. But we're not going to all want to throw them at once because they last so long, but they have a huge cooldown. Since we're not running skill haste, we don't have skill tier, we don't have any extra charges, we're going to want one run its course. Sometimes the hunters will come in and destroy them. And then once it's down, the next person will do theirs, and we're just going to be rotating off and on. And as you can see, my teammate fell down. That's why we're going to want to be running these highs. You can see in this video, I was going to run shield and riot foam because I didn't know what to expect. So I just brought the foam, and I brought my shield just in case because I didn't know. And about halfway through, I ended up switching out everything to the build that I had showed you guys originally, because honestly, I didn't know what to expect, what the hunters were going to do, what kind of environment I was going to be in. All I heard was riot foam, so I brought that, and I'm like, I'll just bring a shield. Maybe it will save me against these hunters. As you can see, hunters will just kind of come in a lot of times and they'll try to rush you, and you just take them down with the SMG. There will be a couple of hunters who just stay back and snipe or shoot skills. If you keep a sniper rifle on you, a marksman, something like that, you can hit them at range. And usually there's like one straggler, and he's got like unbreakable on his chest. It's ridiculous, and he just comes back to life. And that's pretty much all you have to worry about. Every once in a while, they'll throw like some little grenade in. I forgot which grenade it is. It's one of the traps. And you just kind of move out of the way. It's not really an issue. As long as you keep the shock traps up, you will be fine. If they come in, nuke them down, it's not really an issue. Now, if you're running solo, you might want to just run riot foam, because you're not going to be able to keep the shock traps up all the time. Every once in a while, they'll do some interference and they'll knock out your skills. But most of the time, it's not an issue. Just be prepared when your skills are out, because they might try to push you at that point. Otherwise, good luck. I hope you guys complete level 100. You get your chest piece. Let me know how the summon is going, how it's working out for you. Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? And I'll see you guys in the next video.